The Rams have a star in the making on the defensive side of the ball, as well as an update from day one of practice, how the new look receiver core of Puka Nacua and Davante Adams look, as well as some updates on the Kyren Williams extension talks, all that and more on this episode of Rams Digest. And welcome back to another episode of Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Finehirsh. And before we get into today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are around 90 away from our goal of 4K. By the end of the day today, we have a few more hours left, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can hit 4K by the end of today. And turn on that notification bell. Click the bell right underneath the subscribe button. Click it, turn notifications to all, click all, so you get notified whenever we post daily Rams Digest videos covering all things Rams, so you do not miss a beat this training camp and regular season. And now to our main story of today from Rams Wire. NFL analyst Brian Baldinger does his Baldy's analysis on social media, and he labeled the Rams defensive tackle Braden Fiske as a key breakout player heading into next year, as we will get into that story right now. So much of the attention on the defense goes to reigning defensive rookie of the year Jared Verse, but the LA Rams have another star up front in Braden Fiske. The former Florida State Seminole is coming off of a season where he had a team-high 8.5 sacks, wasting no time bursting onto the scene as a second-round pick. Now, something that you probably didn't know about Braden Fiske, as I went onto his football reference page, he only started 8 of the 17 games throughout the regular season, meaning that he was really more of a late-season surge guy, because he was coming off the bench early on, and he kept playing well. He played so well at the end of the season and the playoffs, like most of the defense, and now he is poised for a breakout in year 2. Fiske was a disruptive force for the Rams last season, and after working hard on his body this offseason, he's in even better shape entering year 2. He feels stronger and just as quick despite adding a few pounds, cutting his body fat thanks to some diet adjustments. NFL Network analyst Brian Baldinger said he has high expectations for Fiske in 2025, putting the spotlight on the LA Rams stud defensive lineman in his recent Baldy's Breakdown segment on social media. We have the quote from Baldinger to get to right now. Counting the postseason, Braden Fiske led all rookies with 10 sacks last year. I can't wait to see what he does in his sophomore season, Baldinger said. Yeah, I totally agree. I am hyped to see what Fiske does in his sophomore season, especially with that whole young defensive line getting better. They're saying Kobe Turner's looked really dominant throughout day one of camp as well, which is really, really good to see that he's been a disruptive force. And Josiah Stewart was dominating in OTAs. We covered that around a month ago, so we'll see if that dominance carries over into camp. But if that dominance carries over into camp as well, I can't wait to see what this front does, because this front seven is the strength of this Rams defense. The secondary, I like the safety room a lot, besides Cam McCurl, but the cornerback room is where we definitely need some work. And for the safety and corner rooms and the secondary in general to be effective, we need that defensive front to be strong up front, and Fiske is a key part of that success. Baldinger highlighted Fiske's combination of power and speed, which were on display during multiple plays against the Cardinals and Vikings last year. It's unfortunate he got hurt in the divisional round against the Eagles, but thankfully it was only a minor knee injury. Yes, that is the injury that he had surgery on. I actually forgot about that, and I talked about that in my last video on covering day one training camp report day, covering everything you needed to know from there. And Fiske addressed the media about his injury. He's fully recovered, full go in practice. He changed the diet, put on some weight as we already mentioned, and now he looks to be a key part of this Rams defense. And I want you to comment down below, what you think he will do this year. For me personally, last year, just to read off some stats, 8.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 44 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 10 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles, and fumble recoveries. So for me, I think Fiske goes up to 9.5 sacks. Again, my hot take is nobody on the Rams has 10 sacks, because I do think that everyone on the team might have at least 5 of guys who will actually get significant playing time. So comment that down below as well, whether or not you agree with that. I have 9.5 sacks. I'll say it gets 54 tackles. He'll have 17 tackles for loss, 14 quarterback hits, and this time he will force 5 fumbles, stay at 2 fumble recoveries, with a pass defense as well at the line of scrimmage. So comment that down below what you think his stats will be right now. I think he's in for a better season, as all these Rams defenders are. I think everyone's number is going to go up a little bit, and I think the Rams as a unit have the potential to be a top 5 team in sacks in this upcoming season. Comment that down below as well if you agree on that. And I agree with Baldinger on everything he said. He has a really nice power and speed combination that's going to stay. He's 6'4". He was listed at 295 on Pro Football Reference. I know in this press conference he said around 292, 293, so we'll see where that is once the season gets underway here. And now he is back being fully healthy and prepared to wreak havoc each and every week this season, which will be great to see. And now we have a new story to get into, also from Rams Wire. A first look on how the receiver dynamic of Puka Nacua and Davante Adams has looked so far from day one of practice at training camp, also from Rams Wire. And we're going to head into that right now. Just days into the start of Los Angeles Rams training camp, Puka Nacua is already embracing the presence and leadership of his all-pro teammate Davante Adams. Right from the start, Adams isn't just participating, he's influencing everything that comes to mind, from drills to pacing to leadership, similar to the way Cooper Kupp did. And I like this a lot, because Cooper Kupp was that mentor for Puka Nacua, really a key part of him getting to where he is today as a player. And now with Davante, you have somebody who Sean McVay and the Rams brass have called a consummate pro, someone who they're really, really high on heading into this season, as I am, as many Rams fans are. We paid him over $20 million a year, so he should have those high expectations, but I love this, and I love to see that he is becoming a leader for this team early on in training camp. While the Rams will look for their young star wideout to embrace more of a leadership role in year 3 himself, Nacua didn't hesitate one bit when he asked Adams to take the lead in position drills, signaling the respect the future Hall of Famer has earned over his 11-year career. And we actually have a quote to get into from this from Puka. "I've asked Davante to lead our position group drills," Nacua said. "There is a respect for him to come in saying, 'I don't want to push you out of the way where I take your spot and be like, oh, I should be up there number 1. But it's something that I have a huge amount of respect for his game, and I'm blessed to be around great people like Kupp and Davante.'" Into the W take. This is a really, really positive take, and a take that I agree with, because Nacua's not necessarily saying I'm never going to lead. He's just saying, for right now, you set the tone so that I can take that leadership role midway through the season, where Nacua, if he's healthy, knock on wood on that, will most likely feel less of hits just because he's a younger player than Davante, although both of them have been pretty healthy throughout their entire NFL careers. Again, knocking on wood, my wooden desk here to make sure that stays the same. While in the presence of route running wizard, Nacua, who has also showcased himself as one of the league's best route runners over his first 2 seasons, has continued to play as a student of the game, and watching Adams up close during live reps is having a great impact. And we have another quote here from Nacua himself. "When I was in the front, I'm trying to sprint as fast as I can so I can turn around and watch him," Nacua added. "So I was like, hey, I think I'll make my job a little bit easier if you go first. Today, I was right there in the back, and I'm just standing like this because I'm going to watch the tape again. But I'm like, there's nothing better than seeing him with my own 2 eyes." And what Puka's talking about there is he's basically talking about the way that Davante Adams runs routes, that there's really no one else in the league like that doing what he's doing. And again, I think Davante is poised for an amazing season along with Puka, so we will see exactly how that goes. But Puka, that's kind of funny though. What he said, I have to sprint when I'm in front to be able to make sure that I'm able to see how he does it. And the key thing from that quote that I love too is watching the tape. That's important. He's going to rewatch that tape of that drill so he can say, hey, I can do this better. I can work on this. Or I can see, ooh, Davante is doing that. How can I make this move work for my game? And that's really important, and we love to see that. The Rams signed Adams in March to help fill the void left by Kupp, who joined the division rival Seahawks and will face his former team twice this season. Adams' arrival not only adds a proven playmaker to the offense, but also continues the mentorship pipeline for the rising star Nacua. His eagerness to learn and willingness to defer to the 32-year-old veteran speaks volumes about the leadership presence Adams brings to the Rams' wide receiver room. Yeah, it definitely does, because Puka could have easily said, like, nah, Cooper's out, it's my time to be this guy or be the main leader, but he's letting in Davante be that leader, be that co-leader. I can really see them throughout the season kind of leading together, really kind of being co-captains, if you will, because both of them have that respect. Nacua has a respect of being elite as a Ram, and Adams has that respect of being elite for like the last 7 or 8 seasons of elite football. So both of those guys are going to be key leaders for this team going forward. And let me know what you think Davante Adams is going to do this season in the comments. Comment that down below right now. Again, I've said he's going to have 82 catches, around 1,100 yards, and 11 touchdowns to lead the team in receiving touchdowns. Comment that down below right now if you agree. And like this video, for training camp practice is officially being underway. It is not a myth anymore. We are in training camp, so leave a like on this video right now if you haven't already. And now to our final story of the day. We have Kyren Williams' big update in free agency contract talks heading into next year so we can avoid being a free agent and get this deal done. Also from Rams Wire, we will head into that right now. Training camp is often the time for the Los Angeles Rams to get contract extensions done, but they're key players, and Kyren Williams could be next in line. The star running back is seeking a new deal ahead of his fourth season in the NFL, aiming for a raise after putting together 2 strong campaigns for the Rams. Yes, we've talked about this a lot at this point. How much will he get? He wants around that 14 mil mark. I think the Rams should go in between that 10 and 12 mark, is similar to a Josh Jacobs or an Aaron Jones, because I think they're pretty comparable in terms of running back rankings. Or, if a deal doesn't get done, he could wait to see what Bijan and Gibbs get, which I do think both of those guys should get more than what Kyren's going to get based on where we are right now in the NFL landscape. Negotiations have been ongoing for months, and though progress has been made, the deal isn't done yet. The Rams and Williams agent Drew Rosenhaus sat down together yesterday before practice to continue hammering away at what a potential extension could look like. Sean McVay was involved in those discussions, and after practice he provided an update. We got that for you right now. It was good. It was positive, McVay said. No news to report, but I know Drew and Matthew spent a little bit more time after I did with those guys this morning, and so we'll see. But as far as I know, nothing has been agreed upon, but I think there's a lot of good intentions on trying to be able to get that done. We'll see if that ends up happening. And that is a very positive update right there from Sean McVay, mainly because we don't know how close this means, or I thought they got closer to a number or years potentially, because I'm sure Kyren wants that 3-4 year deal, or maybe the Rams are looking to do a 2 to 3 year. And I've seen some of you in the comments when I talk about Kyren going back to the Gurley contract, which I understand why the Rams would have their nerves about paying a running back, because that Gurley contract after the first year did not really work out. Although again, the arthritis thing to me is not a common injury that happens in the NFL. I can't really think of anyone else on the top of my head that had to retire at a really young age in their 20s because of arthritis. That was a really unlucky and unfortunate situation for Todd Gurley, my favorite Ram of all time, Todd Gurley. So I highly doubt the same would happen with Kyren. Knock on wood that doesn't happen. But I completely understand you in the comments and the Rams having their concerns about paying a running back long-term for that 4-year window. Rosenhaus went out to Rams training camp at Loyola Marymount just to meet with the team's brass, showing a commitment to getting something done for his client. McVay appreciates his dedication to Williams and hopes the two sides can work something out, as we have another statement here from McVay. Well, I think it's a great reflection of Drew, he said. I know how much he cares about Kyren and wants to do right by him, and I commend Drew for doing that. Oh yeah, totally. 100%. I agree with that. I think Drew coming to the Rams rather than him forcing the Rams brass to come find him in this scenario is a really good start for them, although part of it's because his client's already at training camp, so might as well be where a client already is. But hey, I get it. I understand why he's doing that. It shows appreciation for the Rams as well. And I believe it shows the Rams from Kyren's point of view, hey, I want to be here. I want to be a Ram. Kyren has said that. Sean McVay has said that. And I do believe the sides are close to getting something done. Williams isn't holding out or skipping any practices with the Rams, showing an enthusiasm for practicing with his teammates despite this contract situation looming over camp. As badly as he wants a new deal, he's not willing to sacrifice valuable practice time, which could allow others like Blake Corum and Jarquez Hunter to capitalize on their increased reps. Unlike some negotiations, there doesn't appear to be anything contentious between the Rams and Williams, which is a good sign. Yes, that is true. As we've reported on already, Williams is in camp and he is fully practicing, which is really, really rare for people on holdouts to be fully practicing because you don't want to risk an injury. Because if you get hurt, especially at the running back position, a lot of teams are not going to want to pay you coming off of a major injury. So we will hope to see that that does not happen. And for Kyren, I'm assuming he stays healthy, this is a great move for him because he's showing his commitment to the team as well as McVay, allowing camp, at least on the practice side of things, to go along as smoothly as you possibly can have it go along. So it looks like you're more of a team player, which Kyren is a team player. I'm not saying it makes him look better or worse, but I'm just saying for contract negotiations, it makes the Rams be like, oh, we already know he's a team player, but he's risking it right now practicing despite not being guaranteed any more money past this season. So that is a good sign for Kyren right there. Comment down below right now whether you think the Rams should pay him or not. I believe they should pay him in that $10 to $12 million range. I know some of you are saying to trade him or let him walk, but I do think Kyren's going to be better this year with ball security and working on explosiveness. We saw Wyatt Miller's tweet in my last video talking about just how important it is that Kyren worked on those two things over the offseason. And that is all for this episode of Rams Digest. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We are on the road to 4K by training camp right now by 11:59 p.m. Let's try to get around 90 more right now. Click that notification bell. Click all once you do that so you get notified and do not miss any daily new Rams Digest videos covering all things Rams. And leave in the comments right now down below your thoughts on Braden Fisk, what he's going to be this year, along with the defenses. I think they can have a top 5 defensive line and front 7 in football when it comes to sacks to really try to help that secondary out as well. Comment down below your thoughts on Davante Adams and his season coming up and what you think this leadership dynamic will mean for the Rams. I think it'll be great. I think Adams is going to have another 1,000-yard, 10-plus touchdown catch season. And also comment down below your thoughts on the Kyren extension right now. Again, I believe that you should get in between that 10 to 12 million for that 3-year range. And make sure to leave a like on this video right now. We've officially had training camp practices. We're getting closer and closer to the start of the regular season, so make sure to hit that thumbs up button right now. I've been your host, Joshua Finehirsh. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Rams Digest. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon for another one, and have a great rest of your day.